I'll start with 17 Grasmere Road in Cremorne. So this is an older apartment block, probably built in the late 60s or early 70s. And just to think, this is not like a super modern apartment building, but they retrofitted out 2 gas hot water systems in this building. It cost them about $30,000. They got about a $4,000 federal rebate. Now there actually is a New South Wales government rebate. You can double dip on both rebate, the federal government and the state government rebate schemes if you do heat pump. And they would be looking at about 7.5 years to pay back the savings from that hot water. If they do solar on the top of this building, they're waiting to do a waterproofing membrane job first. But if they did that, the combined payback would come down to 6.3 years for swapping out 2 gas hot water plants and putting a solar photovoltaic on the roof. So that was the first one in the program that switched to heat pumps, and you can see the front building and the rear building. They had 2 gas hot water storage tanks, one for the front building, one for the back. And then afterwards, they've got these taller tanks because you need to store more water. And those 2 things that look like air conditioners on the wall, they're actually the heat pumps. So that's what a heat pump looks like. They don't run all the time. You can see they're fairly close to one of the units. They're not that noisy. You can see there are actually windows to units just above where they are. But that's an example of switching to a couple of heat pumps to heat the hot water. This is the one at 20 Ross Street in Waverton, and they put a 10 kilowatt solar system connected to the common areas on their rooftop, and then they switched out, there's only 5 apartments in this building, they switched out the gas hot water system and put in reclaim energy heat pumps to servicing the 5 units. So 1 system servicing all 5 units. And then we go up to 20 to 24 Yeo Street in Neutral Bay, and they switched out their gas hot water system, and this is for 18 apartments, and they put in, Kin Technologies put in a quantum set of heat pumps to do the domestic hot water in this building up there. So then the other thing you can use heat pumps for is heating pools. So an example of a building in the local area that it's got a beautiful indoor pool, I have to say. It's one of the nicest indoor pools. The building's called the London. It's on the Pacific Highway. And they used to heat this indoor pool 365 days of the year using a gas heater, and now they've switched it to an Oasis X heat pump, and basically they're going to get payback in about 2 years on switching to the heat pump from using the gas. So that's our first pathway, is looking at using heat pumps to heat either domestic hot water or heat water in pools. And why heat pumps are renewable is they suck in air temperature, and they're capturing heat from the air temperature, and then they use a small amount of electricity. And to give you an idea, if the refrigerant in a heat pump is negative 28 degrees, anytime the outdoor temperature or the temperature in a garage is higher than negative 28, that heat pump actually can suck heat out of the air. So even in the middle of winter, if it's 7 degrees outside, don't think it's not hot enough for the heat pump to work, because it's actually the difference from negative 28 to 7 degrees, which is they're able to suck the heat in. And they even work in the snowy mountains as well.